59 words to improve your vocabulary.
Emeritus. The emeritus professor continued to offer guidance to students. Retired but retaining an honorary title. Permeate. The aroma of freshly baked bread permeated the entire house. Spread throughout. Pervade. Improper. His behavior at the formal dinner was deemed improper. Not suitable or conforming to accepted standards. Remembrance. The monument was built in remembrance of fallen soldiers. The action of remembering something. Commemoration. Diatomic. Oxygen is a diatomic molecule, was made up of two atoms. Consisting of two atoms. Dilate. The doctor used eye drops to dilate the patient's pupils. Make or become wider, larger, or more open. Posterity. He hoped his art would be appreciated by posterity. Future generations, all descendants of a person. Inclement. The hikers were unprepared for the inclement weather. Of the weather, unpleasantly cold or wet. Rapacity. The rapacity of the conquerors led to widespread suffering. Aggressive greed. Esoteric. The professor's lecture on quantum mechanics was esoteric. Likely to be understood by only a small number of people with a specialized knowledge. Filial. She had a strong filial bond with her parents. Of or due from a son or daughter. Surveyor. The surveyor measured the land before construction began. A person who examines and records the area and features of a piece of land. Gambit. His decision to invest in the startup was a risky gambit. Action, or opening remark, typically one entailing a degree of risk, to gain an advantage. Evert. The gymnast had to evert her foot to execute the maneuver. Turn, a part or organ, outward or inside out. Atomizer. She used an atomizer to spray perfume on her skin. A device for emitting water, perfume, or other liquids as a fine spray. Antechamber. They waited nervously in the antechamber before meeting the president. A small room leading to a main one. Onerous. The new regulations placed an onerous burden on small businesses. Involving a great deal of effort or difficulty. Burdensome. Innuendo. His speech was full of innuendo, suggesting impropriety. An elusive or oblique remark or hint, typically a suggestive or disparaging one. Incredulity. His story was met with incredulity by his friends. The state of being unwilling or unable to believe something. Reciprocal. They had a reciprocal agreement to help each other when needed. Given, felt, or done in return. Peruse. He decided to peruse the document carefully before signing it. Read something, typically in a thorough or careful way. Precise. The architect provided precise measurements for the building. Marked by exactness and accuracy in expression or detail. Dejection. His face showed signs of dejection after receiving the news. A sad and depressed state, low spirits. Kingling. The young prince was a mere kingling in the vast kingdom. A young king or one who is inexperienced or insignificant in power. Encumbrance. The bureaucratic process was seen as an encumbrance to progress. A burden or impediment. Concordance. The concordance of their opinions led to a productive discussion. Agreement or harmony between people or things. Censure. The board voted to censure the member for his unethical behavior. Express severe disapproval of someone or something, typically in a formal statement. Anagram. Silent is an anagram of listen. A word or name formed by rearranging the letters of another, such as cinema, formed from Iceman. Inseparable. The two friends were inseparable since childhood. Unable to be separated or treated separately. Synthetic. The jacket was made of a synthetic material that resembled leather. Made by chemical synthesis, especially to imitate a natural product. Taciturn. He was a taciturn man who rarely spoke unless necessary. Reserved or uncommunicative in speech, saying little. Seminar. She attended a seminar on financial planning. A conference or other meeting for discussion or training. Prophecy. The prophecy foretold of a great disaster that would befall the kingdom. A prediction of what will happen in the future. Heteromorphic. The species displayed heteromorphic characteristics in its different forms, differing in form or structure. Unobtrusive. The security cameras were designed to be unobtrusive and blend into the surroundings. Not conspicuous or attracting attention. Disabuse. She tried to disabuse him of the notion that success comes easily. Persuade someone that an idea or belief is mistaken. Receivable. The company's accounts receivable were higher than expected. Able to be received, especially money or payments. Labyrinthine. The city streets were labyrinthine, making navigation difficult. Complicated and confusing, resembling a labyrinth. Concatenation. The concatenation of events led to the unexpected outcome. A series of interconnected things or events. Disfavor. His actions fell into disfavor with the public. Disapproval or lack of approval, to regard or treat with disapproval. Cynical. His cynical attitude made it difficult for him to trust others. Believing that people are motivated purely by self-interest rather than acting for unselfish reasons. Retrograde. The company's decision to use outdated technology was a retrograde step. Directed or moving backward, having a backward motion or direction. Resolute. Despite the challenges, she remained resolute in her decision to pursue her dreams. Admirably purposeful, determined, and unwavering. Deterrent. The heavy security presence acted as a deterrent to potential thieves. A thing that discourages or is intended to discourage someone from doing something. Hydra. Corruption in the organization seemed like a hydra, with new problems emerging as old ones were solved. A persistent or multifaceted problem that cannot be eradicated easily. Platonic. Their relationship was strictly platonic, based on friendship rather than romantic attraction. Intimate and affectionate, but not sexual. Persuade. She tried to persuade her parents to let her go on the trip. Cause someone to do something through reasoning or argument. Premiere. The movie had its premiere screening at the prestigious film festival. First in importance, order, or position. Martyrdom. He willingly sacrificed himself, choosing martyrdom for his beliefs. The suffering or death of a martyr. Pension. After retiring, she received a monthly pension from her former employer. A regular payment made by the state to people of or above the official retirement age. Pedestal. The statue of the great leader stood on a pedestal in the town square. The base or support on which a statue, obelisk, or column is mounted. Dynamic. The dynamic nature of the market requires constant adaptation. Characterized by constant change, activity, or progress. Reprimand. He received a reprimand from his boss for arriving late to work. A rebuke, especially an official one. Enfeeble. The illness enfeebled him, leaving him unable to perform daily tasks. Make weak or feeble, weaken. Albino. Albino animals lack pigmentation in their skin, fur, or feathers. A person or animal with an absence of pigment in the skin and hair and the eyes. Unfetter. The new legislation seeks to unfetter the economy from unnecessary regulations. Release from restraint or inhibition. Brazen. His brazen behavior at the meeting shocked his colleagues. Bold and without shame. Extraordinary. Her extraordinary talent was recognized and celebrated worldwide. Very unusual or remarkable.
Recommend this to a friend and watch again.